While I was, trying to go to sleep last night, I started thinking, and this is not an original thought that I've had, okay? Other people have talked about this, but I started really percolating over what SkinnyTok, Tradwives, Princess Treatment, Soft Girl, etc. all have in common, and it's really about suppressing women. Hi, and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Lauren, filmmaker extraordinaire. Yes, I'm wearing the same shirt as my last video, but I promise it's actually a whole new month when I'm filming. Perhaps you guys have heard about SkinnyTok or Tradwives. I know I've spoken a little bit about Tradwives before. Maybe you've heard of the soft life. And the latest fad to take over, at least TikTok, is princess treatment with the specific princess treatment lady. Even though I have certain opinions about specific creators, I don't want anyone to send any hate towards anybody. You can provide criticism as long as it's polite and respectful, but like hating on people, just trolling them on their social media platforms, that's not accomplishing anything, and that is not anything that I condone or want to encourage. I do also want to caveat that some of these movements, especially with like Princess Treatment Girl and a lot of the very famous Tradwives, there is I think a lot of emphasis social media wise focusing on a lot of white women. I do think there are women of all races who are in some of these categories, but I do think there is a certain amount, unfortunately, of sort of racism and this pedestaling of the white domestic woman, because that's what all women want to go back to, even though we know that only rich white women ever lived that lifestyle of this fantastical, happy little housewife dream, if they were even happy and not totally drugged up. We think about the suppression of women. Now, some women fought for the right to work because, again, some women were always working. We have women fighting for the right to vote, for more social acceptance, getting into fields of study that they weren't allowed in before, going to college, education, having the right to a credit card, a bank account, owning property, a lot of things that initially women did not have the right to have, and they could only kind of access through maybe their husband or their father or a male figure who basically owned that section and could then, have their wife or their daughter or whoever kind of benefit that way, but women didn't have their own resources directly. In the modern age, women do, at least in a lot of Western countries, specifically America, where I live, I can speak to, we do have the right to vote and have our own bank accounts and have jobs and be educated. And I think a lot of people, I know at least initially when I was younger, I was like, of course we do, because why wouldn't women have these rights to do things? Because men can do it, why can't women do it? Why can't everybody just have these things? I am now cognizant of the fact that it is not that way, around the world. And what's crazy because of that is that there are plenty of women in Western society that are toting a better life, a different life, that is really a step backwards. And there is the idea of choice feminism, where it's oh, well, if a woman wants to not work, it's her choice, so that's a feminist choice. And that's not true, okay? Feminism is not just doing what a woman doing what she wants to do doesn't necessarily make a feminist choice. It could still be that woman's choice. And I do think women should be able to do what they want to do within ethical reason. But the issue, in my opinion, is not that some women want this, it's the projection that all women should want this. And people are why do we fight for the right to work again? I want to be a home, happy little housewife. And we make jokes, me, the royal we, I make jokes being oh, I was meant to lay on the beach eating grapes. But I don't actually believe that, and I don't even actually want that, because I like accomplishing things, I like working, I like being part of a team, I like getting stuff done on a broader scale than just me, myself, and I. But when it comes to the Tradwives, kind of projecting the idea oh, women belong in the home, that's suppressing women's autonomy. Women who don't have income are much more likely to be stuck in domestic violence situations or any kind of abusive partnership They don't have the means to get out. They don't have any resources, especially if there are children involved. They don't have a way to take care of their family and themselves without depending on potentially an abusive and violent partner. Or even if they just don't want to be with that person anymore for whatever reason. If they don't have a job, if they don't have any savings, if they don't have any resources to support themselves, they kind of have no choice but to stay in a relationship that they're no longer happy in because they don't have any other alternatives. So that's one form of suppression. I think then also when we go to the soft girl lifestyle or the princess treatment, that's again sort of suppressing women's autonomy, but it's really suppressing women's independence and ability to formulate opinions and our ability to go out and try stuff, because women who are supposed to be princess treatmenting, we're not supposed to talk to people unless our husband gives us permission to talk to them. Our husband's supposed to order for us, take care of us, do all these things. And it's really infantilizing because, yeah, I mean, I like when someone opens the door for me, but I can also open the door for other people. I also have the ability to open doors and help other people out. And I actually know how to order my own food. And I don't need to rely on somebody else to do that for me. And I think there's a big difference between maybe a special occasion, getting treated nicely, and I don't want to worry about this for the day. Sure, you worry about it, you plan everything, and I'll just show up. But we shouldn't be getting into the mindset of that should be our everyday, because if we as women are this is what we're going to do every day, then we lose our own ability to think, maybe our own confidence that we know how to make the right decisions, and we really rely on whoever is treating us the princess way. Most of the examples on social media are with someone's husband or boyfriend or partner, and they're in charge of our whole lives, which I don't think is beneficial, especially to women, but in society overall, because we are human beings with our own thoughts, brains, dreams, wishes, and no one else should be steering the ship of our lives but us. And then of course there is SkinnyTok, which I have a lot of grievances about as someone who is in recovery from an eating disorder, but I really just want to focus in this little quick tangent video on how SkinnyTok is literally making women weaker. It's literally suppressing women's strength, mentally, physically, etc., to make women more I think malleable to social pressures, and then to kind of succumb to other methods of women being kicked down into the dirt to go back, crawling into the kitchens, which is what I sometimes think people want. People as in kind of the red pill society, incels, men who want women to take care of them, but also make them have children and have their successful lineage and family without actually treating their wife, girlfriend as an actual person and a human being. Because with all SkinnyTok, there is obviously women trying to encourage other women to lose weight and exercise, and they can say some really horrible things, especially King Krabby Patty, Liv Schmidt. I know both of those people have had accounts deactivated, banned, but they just keep popping up, and there's lots of other people like them who are basically saying the best thing to be is skinny. Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels, yada, 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 which is so not true. Because first of all, lots of things taste great, but also skinny does not even equal healthy. There's so much wrong with that idea. But if you as a woman are not eating properly and not taking care of yourself with nutrients, your body is going to sort of shut down. And maybe you don't notice it at first, but maybe you feel dizzy a lot. You feel kind of lightheaded, weak. You're then not capable and able to do things, which can then, hinder your own independence. And then you have to rely on other people. Or maybe you can still kind of do things physically, but mentally your brain is slower and struggling because you're not eating enough food to give your body what it needs, including your brain. So then you're unable to maybe make decisions that you would make if you had the proper nutrients. You don't know what to do, more confusion, you're happier to let someone else make the decisions for you. And you're losing your own ability to have opinions and act on those opinions because you're trying to fit into the social pressure of being skinny because thin is in. I think kind of the whole amalgamation of these factors that are all kind of hitting, not necessarily at the same time, but in close succession. I mean, there was, the Tradwives, and then SkinnyTok, and now we have Princess Treatment Lady, and kind of overall we had the soft girl lifestyle, where, you know, we don't want to work hard. We want to treat ourselves and have a calm life. And I do also think part of that is because a lot of women who have been working really hard, like, you know, the whole girl boss era, are feeling kind of defeated because women have worked really, really hard for things. And then we still have like the Me Too movement, and then things just roll backwards. I mean, we have Donald Trump as the president, and he's horrible to women. Like, we see this in our mainstream media, we see it in politics, we see it across the board that like women work really hard and really fight for rights and to not be assaulted and all these things. And it doesn't even matter because the men who do these things just keep like la-di-da-di-da chilling out. So I do think there is, like, I am empathetic to women who feel like, what's the point? Like, I work really hard and then there's still the glass ceiling. I work really hard. I'm still not taken seriously because I'm a woman in my chosen field of occupation. I'm not respected still, so like, why bother? And I definitely empathize with this level of kind of defeatism because I feel often kind of doomeristic about the world at large right now, and I sometimes feel that way about work. Not as much, but again, I'm relatively new to working in the grand scheme of my life versus women who have been working for 10, 20, etc. years and not maybe seeing things happening. And then we also, as women, are seeing our reproductive rights being rolled backwards in a lot of places. I mean, there's even horribly people, at least for now, maybe joking about like taking away women's right to vote. It's overwhelming, it's depressing, but I just think we really have to remember that all these things are combined. They're all working together. And if this is what we're seeing on our social media feeds, if this is what younger girls are seeing, younger women are seeing, we really need to take action about these and try to make other media to put out there saying like, you can be strong as a woman, you can work as a woman, you could be a housewife as a woman, you can do things as you want as a woman, but it's not necessarily, you should not be projecting that all women should be following in your footsteps, and also being realistic about what these things mean. Say you're a housewife, you still have to work. You're just not getting paid necessarily because managing a house is a lot of work. There's chores to do. I mean, I remember when I had my apartment, I mean, that was like a 1-bedroom apartment and I was overwhelming, let alone a whole house. If you have kids you're taking care of, you're still going to be working. Most likely you're not going to marry someone super rich who can pay to afford to have a lot of help and assistance, and you can live a soft little domestic life. Most likely you're going to be working a lot. It's going to be tiring. It's going to be exhausting. And that's why so many women fought for the ability to have other options. And we cannot let those options be taken away from us and doom the women in the generations to follow us to have to refight for those rights that we let slip. That's really all I have to say. I know that it kind of was maybe a bit fluid of a discussion and not maybe as specific as some of my other videos, but it's just been really bothering me that it feels like a lot of people are kind of passive about the regression of women's rights, especially in America and in Western society overall. So that's my piece. I know I'm going to list some women that I find really inspiring in the description, and if you guys want to list some more in the comments, that would be great. So that's it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below, again, empowering women, whatever your thoughts are, and don't forget to subscribe if you want more videos from me, and I'll see you next time.